Good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning. I've said a little bit in previous videos about what mindfulness is. This morning I thought I'd say something about the relationship of mindfulness and relaxation. There's a lot of evidence that over time, mindfulness leads to relaxation, psychologically and in the body, physiologically. Less stress, fewer physiological symptoms of stress, greater well-being. But mindfulness is not the same as relaxation. In each moment, the essence of mindfulness is simply bringing that friendly and non-judgmental awareness to whatever happens to be in your experience right now. Which is to say that you can be mindful even in a moment of great difficulty, even in a moment which is the opposite of relaxation. The practice of mindfulness does lead over time to relaxation, but in each moment, mindfulness is not about being relaxed. It's simply about bringing awareness to however it is. So this morning's practice is a body scan. It can be done sitting or lying down. So making a choice at this point about how you'd like to do the body scan practice. If you're lying down, you may like a blanket to keep you warm, a pillow or cushion to support your head. If you're sitting, perhaps coming away slightly from the back of a chair, allowing the spine to be straight and to support itself. The shoulders upright but relaxed. The hands resting on the thighs or in the lap, and the soles of the feet flat against the floor. If you're lying down, you could lie with your legs outstretched, or with the knees bent and the soles of the feet flat against the floor. The arms lying by the sides, maybe with the palms facing upwards. As always, doing what feels right for you, both in terms of the posture that you take up and in terms of how much of my guidance you follow during the practice itself. Allowing the eyes to close if that's comfortable for you, or just lowering your gaze, resting the eyes with a soft focus on a particular point. And we'll begin the practice with the sound of the bell. Beginning with an awareness of the whole body. What sensations are in the body at this moment? Simply receiving them however they are. Noticing points of contact, feet against the floor. If you're lying down, legs, buttocks, back against the floor. If you're sitting, noticing the points of contact in the feet and the seat. Clothes against skin, skin against air. Aware of the space the body occupies. Aware of the space around the body. And aware of the boundary between these two spaces. A boundary that is porous, flexible. And now gathering the attention, bringing it to a particular point in the body where sensation is readily available for you. This might be the feeling of the breath in the nose or throat, chest or belly. It might be the sensations of the hands or the feet. Gathering up the awareness and bringing a precise focus to one part of the body. Allowing the awareness to rest here. Moving up close to this part of the body, to this one sensation. With the understanding that the mind will wander away. And that we can keep bringing it back each time it does. So just observing this chosen sensation. Observing how it changes over time, from one moment to the next. There'll be thoughts and feelings and other sensations, maybe some sounds too. Leaving all of those where they are, not trying to get rid of them. Simply turning the awareness towards this one sensation and resting it there. Knowing that at any point in this practice, or outside of it, it's possible to bring the awareness to a particular sensation and rest it there, whatever else is going on. As you next breathe out, taking the awareness down the body, down the trunk, down the right leg, and into the toes of the right foot. and now in particular to the big toe of the right foot. Opening to any and all of the sensations here. There may be no sensation at all. That's okay too. We simply bring awareness to however it is. There may be a numbness, a sense of temperature, contact with sock or air or floor. Maybe a tingling. And now bringing awareness to the little toe of the right foot. Waiting here. Opening as best you can to receive whatever sensation. Smiling at the wandering mind when it is drawn away to thinking or to anything else. And gently escorting it back to the little toe of the right foot. And now to the toes in between. As much as possible, giving importance to the felt experience, the raw sensation here, however subtle, however much it is whispering. As you next breathe out, allowing the awareness to move over the top of the right foot, the fine bones and muscles, the skin at the surface, and then round to the sole of the foot, the heel, the arch, the outside of the foot, the ball, the pads of the toes. And now expanding the awareness to include the whole of the right foot. If this works for you, breathing into and out of the right foot. So as you breathe in, taking the breath all the way down the right leg and into the right foot. And then breathing out from there. If you prefer simply to rest the awareness with the sensations of the right foot, making that choice. Remembering that you always have choices with your awareness. Now allowing the awareness to move from the right foot to the right ankle, the bones on either side, the tendon at the back, the muscle at the front. Feeling into this part of the body. And then up the right lower leg, the length of the shin bone, the density of the calf muscle, the skin at the surface. And then the knee joint, hard bone at the front, soft skin at the back, a complex joint. Breathing into and out of the knee, if that serves you. Noticing the wandering mind and escorting it back however many times it wanders. No matter how long it has wandered for, simply bringing it back. And now allowing the awareness to move up the right thigh, the thick muscle wrapped around the bone of the thigh. Perhaps a sensation of pulsating, throbbing, as the blood flows through the thigh. Perhaps not. As if you were twisting the lens of a torch from a narrow to a wide beam. Expanding the awareness now to include the whole of the right leg, from the toes to the hip. Receiving as best you can all the sensations here. Allowing them to predominate in your awareness, without having to banish anything else. Just resting in awareness of the right leg. Breathing into it and breathing out from it. And as you breathe out, letting go of the right leg in your awareness. And taking the attention down to the big toe of the left foot. And with a little less guidance now, moving your awareness in the same way through each part of the left leg. The big toe, the little toe, the toes in between, the top of the foot, the sole, not so much thinking about these parts of the body, sensing into them instead. The ankle on the left leg. The shin and calf muscle. the left knee, the left thigh, the whole of the left leg. Simply resting your awareness here. Bringing it back each time it wanders. Nothing to do right now. Simply being with things as they are. And now holding the whole of the lower half of your body in awareness. The left and the right leg. If you like, experimenting with the narrow and wide angle of attention. Noticing these choices that you have with your attention. And periodically coming back to rest in awareness of the whole of the lower half of the body. Top of a tree is blown about by the wind. But the lower half has a stability that we can also find in the lower half of the body at times. Inviting this sense of stability without expecting it. Just allowing the mind to sink into the legs, to rest here. Again, there are likely to be thoughts and feelings, sounds and other sensations. If any are particularly pressing, you might reassure them that you will come back to them, but that right now you are resting the awareness with the sensations of the lower half of the body. Just for now. And then expanding the awareness once again to include the whole body, sitting or lying here. The lower half and the rest of the body. A completeness that includes all that you are. As best you can, allowing the awareness to connect with the stillness that is always there behind the busyness, the blue sky behind the clouds. We don't have to wait for the busyness to disappear to see the stillness that is there too. Perhaps noticing at this point any tendencies of the mind to judge. How was it? How did it compare with any previous experiences? Seeing if you can bring that same kind and balanced mind to the aftermath of a practice. Knowing that sometimes it's like this, sometimes it's like that. Today's poem is called Wild Geese by Mary Oliver. You do not have to be good. You do not have to walk on your knees for 100 miles through the desert repenting. You only have to let the soft animal of your body love what it loves. Tell me about despair, yours, and I will tell you mine. Meanwhile, the world goes on. Meanwhile, the sun and the clear pebbles of the rain are moving across the landscapes, over the prairies and the deep trees, the mountains and the rivers. Meanwhile, the wild geese, high in the clean blue air, are heading home again. Whoever you are, no matter how lonely, the world offers itself to your imagination, calls to you like the wild geese, harsh and exciting, over and over announcing your place in the family of things. Thanks so much, everyone. Wishing you well. I'll be back at the same time tomorrow.